Carpaces, when hunting up in North Texas, returned to the property where 2 nights prior these cattle had chased some hogs out of the pasture that Ben and I were going after. And after the cattle did that, we turned our attention to a couple coyotes, and we shot some coyotes underneath the pivot. And I'm standing right next to where those coyotes went down, going after a pig that is returned to the property. I was hoping to see the rest of the sounder, but I've got this one lone boar. I just need to wait for him to clear some equipment.
Whoa.
Give a little bark to get him to stop. That almost never works, but he goes down with my Power Hammer Bullets 92 grainer, loaded by Druid Hill Armory into Starline Brass.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
He came in at 145 pounds and did it for my night. But a couple days later I get a call from the landowner saying that hogs are bothering his freshly planted winter wheat field. I'm eventually going to counter the hogs down here in this low area off to the east. As you can see, he's got a lot of area that he wants protected, and that's why I'm here on this evening. And here I've set up the RIX LEAP L6 thermal weapon sight. It's just on a tripod watching the field, as I'm going to head down to the sounder that's out there about 300 yards. That's where the measurement was taken earlier. As you can hear up top, the wind is really blowing, but as I get down to the low area, the wind is going to calm down quite a bit. Now the hogs are going to be moving off to the right, as I'm going to head down off to the left off camera, followed by this little skunk. It actually took me a few minutes to get down here and get set up, but I'm set up off camera to the left. And this is the view of the closest hog. All the others have moved off to the right. And I'm trying to decide whether or not this is a male or a female, and I'm not absolutely certain. I figure it's probably going to be a boar, that's why it's not with the rest of the sounder, but looking at the video, I'm thinking it's probably a sow. Maybe this should have been my opening shot. Instead, I'm thinking the targets that I want are over here. This is where the rest of the sounder is. They're at their bed at 90 to 130 yards. They're in a nice little low area. And I'm going to line up on this large one in the middle. Alright, here we go. She goes down, but I lose her in the reflected light. As I go to pick up the other hogs. And I blew those 2 shots. Both of those were too low. Nice connect there. Another connect as the hog runs off property. And a finishing shot puts the lights out on that one. Now this is the view from the RIX LEAP L6 thermal weapon sight. Watch on the right hand side. Here they come. Watch over on the left. And the follow-up shot. After finishing, I knew I had one hog down to the left. I could not see my first hog, and I'm currently looking for it. Finally spy it, work my way over to the low spot, and there it is. I work my way back to the second hog, verify that it's down as well. The first hog turned out to be a 150-pound sow that was pregnant. And she had 5 little babies on board. Moving on to the second hog, I actually thought she would be a lot smaller, but she came in at 135 pounds and was also pregnant. Instead of 5, she actually had 6 babies on board. I'll be discussing those in my previous 2 hunts on Carpe Analysis, the Trauma Diaries number 67. I'll put a link at the end of the video.
Carpaces, my friends.